What's going on, guys? Tobin here with you. Thanks for checking out the channel. Hope everybody's having a great weekend. Getting ready for some cat action tonight. And then, of course, the Heat will be back at it on Monday as they begin their venture to go win this thing in 7. However, have to update a story from last night. News has come across the wire. As multiple reports, Sam Amick was the first one to break it from The Athletic, but others have confirmed locally, Barry Jackson, Ira Winderman. Conor McGregor, the notorious Conor McGregor, former 2-division champion of the UFC superstar, he sent Burnie to the ER last night. The Mascot, Conor McGregor, uncorked, 2 shots onto Burnie, way too hard, especially the second one. Egregious shot. No referee. He would, a referee with his real salt would have pulled Conor McGregor after the first one. Should have been a walk-off knockout shot by Conor McGregor. But Burnie, according to reports, I'll read this from the Miami Herald. It says, an NBA final skit involving mixed martial arts star. It says former mixed martial arts star, which is pretty funny. Mixed martial arts star. I'll still say current Conor. And a Miami Heat mascot went too far, resulting in the man inside the mascot requiring hospitalization. The man inside the Heat's Burnie mascot was taken to the emergency room on Friday night and released that evening after receiving pain medication. A Kaseya Center source confirmed the story that was first reported by The Athletic. So, yeah, we talked about this yesterday. I talked about this in the recap video with this whole Conor McGregor bit. And you guys know, look, I'm a sucker for fighting. I love... maybe my 2 sports, Miami Heat, fighting. I love it. I love boxing. I love mixed martial arts. And, I wouldn't say, definitely Conor McGregor does not have the appeal that he used to. Certainly has become very controversial filled before his incredible rise to featherweight and lightweight champion before going on and fighting Floyd Mayweather Jr. in a boxing match. Still crazy that happened. But is still a huge name. I mean, one of the biggest athletes on the planet. I would say still the biggest combat name probably outside of Floyd on the planet right now. And they do this bit in the third quarter, and it was during a timeout right after the Heat had gone down 10. So you're talking like the lowest of low points for the Miami Heat, right? And Jason Jackson, who leaves his radio broadcast, they make Jax get off the broadcast. Tommy Tighe, my guy, takes over play-by-play for a few minutes while Jax is interviewing Conor McGregor during a timeout. And Conor is, I guess, pitching some athlete pain relief spray, and that's the Heat and them official partners, and so Conor's an investor in it, right? And it's a classic bit. They've done this before. I know that this happened. My guy George Kambosos, when he won the lightweight championship, he was doing a big media tour, and they did a bit where Burnie went up to where George was sitting. They put George on the jumbotron. Bang! George hits him with a shot, but it's very playful. Like, it was like nothing. He falls down. Ha 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 ha! Everybody, funny mascot in pain. That's all that happens, right? Conor uncorks a monster shot on Burnie, but I think that the first shot was probably okay in my fight watching expertise, right? But he follows up on a shot, as you can see here in the footage. You just take a look with the monster bang right onto the nose of Burnie the mascot, and like, you could. I was like, damn, it looked like Conor put a lot into that one. And Burnie's like mascot head bounced off the hardwood. Mind you, he's on a piece of hardwood. I don't know what the support system is in that Burnie costume. I don't know how much give a basketball nose has for a very hard puncher. Which, by the way, look, Conor McGregor. If you guys haven't been hip to what his story's been lately, maybe you come to this channel mostly for the basketball content. But if you know Conor McGregor, just to update everybody, he has been out of the game now for a couple of years. Broke his leg in his last fight against Dustin Poirier. He's been on the mend. The word is he is supposed to come back sometime this year. But he's been skating around the drug testing organization of the UFC, because it seems like he's used some supplements to, how should we say, help along with the recovery. And he has gone from a guy who was, in good shape, always in great shape, premier athlete, but looks like the Hulk for his size, right? For his 5'9" frame, he looks like an absolute monster now. And people are even joking, like, what weight class is he even going to fight at now when he fights? I don't know if this spray has anything. I don't know if this is a Ray Lewis deer antler spray situation. I'm not privy to the antler spray as one could tell. But yeah, man, just adding, I guess in this case, injury to insult from yesterday because the game was going poorly. This bit went poorly. Typically the Heat, the whole production, everything that he does, first class, top notch. They do very few things that embarrass. You could probably count them on your hands. It's not like the Marlins where you could just run down the resume. The Dolphins, the Panthers, all the other teams in town, you could probably give a very, very long list for the most embarrassing thing the Heat have done. My list for the Heat, it's very short. It's putting up a Michael Jordan jersey into the rafters. And for many, many years, they finally kind of cleaned it up this year with just basically putting a red 23 up there. But that was like my biggest gripe ever. And it's a pretty good, you think about how many years they've been in. That's a pretty good run that the Heat have had of PR for as long as they've been going at it. This Conor McGregor bit, I don't know what was the thinking on this. My only guess, I had heard that some bit was going down. My guess would be they were probably hoping to do it a lot earlier, and Conor McGregor, the notorious Conor McGregor, the notoriously late Conor McGregor, because I think he got to the game. I'm trying to think, when did I tweet this out? Because Conor was sitting, I had a really good view of his seats. Conor got to the game yesterday, 9:30. So probably got there second quarter, right? Second quarter, and I bet you that they probably wanted to do this a lot earlier. And they ended up doing it in the third quarter because they have bits planned out. They have a halftime planned out. They have, they want the most people in the stands as possible. You don't want to do it at halftime because a lot of people are gone. But instead, they had decided, hey, let's do this bit here, and everybody's here, but people are pissed because the Heat are losing. And then Conor's it's not like you're bringing this universally beloved figure. A lot of people don't like Conor. He's very polarizing. He's very popular, but he's very polarizing. And, then on top of it, your team is down 10, and then he knocks out the Mascot and hits him very hard. And what looked like, a very, very hard, it looked like I was like, oof. I was asking people yesterday, I was like, am I crazy to say, I was asking people around the team, and I'm like, we're standing in the locker. I'm like, hey, not players, but, other reporters, media members. I'm just, hey, am I crazy to think that, he went a little too far with that? I didn't know any details to this point. I did not know that the man inside Burnie's costume had gone to the ER. I did not know that he had to receive pain medication. He's apparently going to be okay. That's great. It's, but, I look, I get it. You got to make, I'm sure that they got paid oodles of money. And this is a franchise that's already dealt with, the damn naming rights to no fault of their own falling through this year, the stadium, to renaming the arena 3 different times this year. So, look, you got to take a big opportunity there to do this thing. I get it, but you gotta execute that better. And it honestly could not have gone worse. I'm sure everybody in the organization realizes that now. And the funny thing about this is, should the backlash of this not be too bad, imagine this is a partnership that's going to continue. If Conor McGregor is doing future bits with the Miami Heat, you got to give him a buffer, put Zoe out there with him or something, dude. Or I don't know, maybe, UD next year, put him out there with him or something. You gotta give Conor McGregor a Heat fan buffer if you're going to uplift him there a little bit. Maybe, he does a tag team fight with UD or something like that, and they beat somebody up. But, yeah, this went off really, really bad. To know that the guy who was in the costume, get well soon, dude. Horrible to hear that. It was an egregious second shot. And a referee Should have stopped it. Should have stopped it after one. It was a clear one-shot knockout. No need for another. And what are you going to do? Wholly embarrassing. It was already a bad night, on top of the fact that you lost to the Denver Nuggets. Worst, most important game of the season. You lose that. You're down 3-1. Now you got to have this huge hole you got to climb out of to go win the championship. And then on top of it, your mascot gets hurt.